Hey, how's it going, everybody? My name's Jesse, and you guys are on my YouTube channel, Kids Zone Artapalooza. I want to thank everyone for being here with me today. I really appreciate you guys coming to my channel. Hopefully, you guys are having a good time. And if it's your first time here, please hit the subscribe button, and also please do not forget to like the video. By you guys doing that, you do me a really big favor, and you help my channel to grow. Today, we're going to be painting a really cool shark. The shark came in as a request from 8-year-old Josh. Josh has been following the channel for a few days now, and he's drawn and painted Peter Griffin. He's also done Pikachu, and he's also done SpongeBob. So I want to say thank you to Josh. His mom sent some pictures over. Check him out. He did an awesome job. There's also a little picture of Josh right there. Josh, how's it going? Hope you're having a good time on my channel, and thank you for following along. Hope you continue to do so, and I'd love to see more of your pictures in the future, so please have your mom send more of those to me. For those of you that are out there that are going to be following along with this or any other video, I'd like to see what you guys do, so if you guys could send some videos, some pictures to me, you guys could email them to me at paintingwithjesse@gmail.com, paintingwithjesse@gmail.com. And yeah, maybe I'll share some of your pictures here on my channel in the future. Also, if you guys have a particular character or animal, etc., that you guys would like to see a tutorial on, please leave it in the comment section below. Leave me a little message down below, and yeah, maybe I'll do that in the future. Please excuse my throat, guys. It's a little hoarse. I've been having a little bit of a dry throat the last couple of days, so anyhow, we'll make it through it though. Let's get ready. All you guys need is a pencil, something to draw and paint on. I'm going to be using this 8 by 10 inch canvas, but you guys can use drawing paper. You guys can use line paper, cardboard, whatever you guys have at home is what you guys can use. I'm going to be painting with acrylic paints, but if you guys have markers, colored pens, colored pencils, I don't know, crayons, anything that you guys have at home will do. Okay, so let's get ready. And we're going to make ourselves this really cool shark. I want to say thank you again for joining me tonight. It is nighttime where I am, but you guys might be watching it tomorrow in the daytime or whatever. But anyhow, I want to say thank you for joining me. Here's how I do it. Here's how I do this on my channel. Anytime I draw something, I use a regular pencil. Okay. Then I go over it in marker. whenever I paint something, I'll go over it in marker afterwards so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Sometimes it's difficult for the camera to capture what I'm doing with my pencil. Okay, so let me draw first and then watch what I do with the marker, okay? You guys aren't doing the marker part, you're only going to be doing the drawing part, with the pencil part, in other words. If you guys wanted to outline in marker, that's fine, that will work, it's okay. But again, the only reason why I'm doing it in marker is so that you guys can see it. All right, so here we go. Got ourselves a cool little shark right here. First thing I want everyone to do is you're going to make the waves underneath our shark, right? There's these waves that go across like that. So we're going to start with those. Okay, so here's what I like to do. I like to make it kind of simple. So somewhere towards the bottom of your piece of paper or your canvas or whatever it is that you're drawing on, you're going to create some waves. And some of you are going to make waves that are higher. Some of you are going to make waves that are lower. There's no right or wrong in this. What I want you guys to be careful with, though, wherever you put your waves, keep in mind that your shark is going to be above that, right? So if you go too high on the waves, then your shark is going to have to be a little bit smaller, right? So keep in mind how big you make your waves, depending on the size of the paper or canvas, etc., that you're using. Just kind of be aware of that, okay? So here we go. I'm going to start right here. Here's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to make some points. Little points like this, 1, 2, and 3. These little points right here are the tops of my waves, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create these now. I'm going to create the actual waves. So I'm going to go like this. I'm going to go like this. These are just like little, maybe little smiley faces, if you can imagine, right? There we go. Now let me come in and darken these up with my marker so you guys can see these. There we go. Just like that. All right. Cool. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and do, yeah, these right here. So right below this first set that I did of waves, I'm going to make these other ones right below. If I'm going too fast for any of you, if it's hard for you to keep up, simply pause the video, follow the step, catch up, and then press play again, right? That's the beauty of watching this on video. You can always pause it, you can always go back, etc., etc., etc. I go a little quickly so that the video isn't too long, right? I don't want to have video. Some of the videos that I have are really long, an hour and a half or so, and those are okay too. But I want to try and maybe make them a little bit shorter. See if that works better for most of you. Again, at any point you guys want to pause, please do so, and then catch back up with us whenever you can. Okay, so I did this set of waves. That's this here. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and do these right here. So down here, right below this, I'm going to make my little dots again. Dot, dot, and dot. And then I'm going to make my little smiley faces. Right, the little smiley faces that connect those dots. Now, so I've got another set. So this right here that I just did is the top of this. Now I've got one more set below, right? So I can do this again. You don't have to do the dots. I don't think I did the dots for these, but these little dots will help you at home understand what I'm doing, right? Maybe make it a little bit easier for you guys to do them at home. I like to break down drawing in ways that makes it simple for some of you guys, right? I've been drawing since I was a little kid. Always loved to draw. I've had a lot of practice. And for some of you, maybe it's kind of a new thing. Just realize that wherever you are as far as talent, you can always get better. And the more you practice, the more you will get better. I guarantee you will get better. Don't get frustrated with any of this. The idea is to have some fun. If you don't like what you do, let's say you end up maybe at any point, whether you're doing the shark or Pikachu, SpongeBob, or any of the other videos that I've got, if at any point you don't like what you did, remember, you can always go back, watch the video again, and start over, okay? That's part of what this channel is for you guys to practice with, okay? All right, so we have our waves, right? We've got our water. Now what I'd like to do is we're gonna make our shark. Our shark, the outline of our shark, right? The shark's coming out of the water. He's jumping. He's gonna jump out of the water. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make that outline first. Before we start on the outline, what I'd like to do is point out where the top of his nose is, right? The very top right here. So I want to make sure before I start at the bottom, I'm actually gonna mark off where that top of his nose is gonna be, and that's gonna be about right here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm actually going to mark a little spot at the top so you guys can see what I'm doing. There. That's going to be the top of my shark's nose. Okay, so on your paper, or again, whatever you're painting on, whatever you're drawing on, just mark that off. Okay? Next thing I want you to do is where these waves are right here, where you made these waves, maybe just either right over the top of them, like this. I am marking off. Again, I'm going to do this in marker in a second, but here and here, I'm marking off where the sides of my shark are going to start. Okay, so let me do this first. Whoops, yeah, let me mark these off. So there and there, just like that. I know they're a little hard to see, but you guys get the idea. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this and connect it here to the top, right? And I can either go from the bottom up, or I can go from the top down. But what I want to make sure is that this is slightly curved, right? It's not straight. It's not straight like a triangle, even though it kind of gives you, his head is the shape of a triangle, right? So you can kind of envision a triangle, but in this case, the sides are a little bit round, right? They're not perfectly straight like on a triangle. So again, when you start to do this, you want to make it a little curved. And look what I do. What I do is I put my palm on here and I'll turn it. I'll turn my hand a little bit, and I'm using the surface of the canvas to rest my hand on, okay? If this first time that I do this isn't round enough, I can simply come in here and I'll erase. Nothing wrong with erasing. Some people don't like to erase. They get frustrated that they have to erase, but there's nothing wrong with erasing. Erasing is all a part of creating art, especially if you're drawing, right? It's all part of the creative process, and you use erasing to make adjustments. So here we go. Maybe, so in that case, I didn't think it was round enough. So now I'm going to round it over a little bit more. There we go. I like that a little bit better. So now I'm going to come over to the other side. I'm going to connect this top part here to this. Again, nice and round. There we go. I like that. Maybe my nose is a little pointier than this one. Maybe yours is too, or maybe it's rounder. That's okay. I'm not worried about that. This shark here is going to be a little bit pointier than this one. I'm okay with that. All right. The idea isn't to try to make your shark look exactly like this. If yours looks a little different, that's okay. You know, be happy with it. Okay. So, all right, let me go ahead and outline that. Here we go. So there's my outline on the left, and then the outline on the right. Just like that. Look at that. We're getting there. Next thing that I'd like to do is I'm going to create this inside outline where that blue and the gray of my shark, the separation, right? If you can imagine, the blue is the top part of my shark. So over the top of his head, over the top of his back. If you were able to see the other side of the shark, he'd be blue. He'd be this color. And then he's this gray part underneath. So this is where that separation, that line separation, the colors separate, right, where they meet. So starting here at the top, I'm going to do the same thing that I did originally. Just make a little mark like that. Mark it right here like this. Okay. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to take this and I can bring it all the way down here. I can take this and then bring it down on this side. Now, if I want, I can just do this. Mark off where those lines are going to meet at the bottom to make it a little bit easier. So let's do that. Mark and mark. So here we go. Here we go. Left hand side all the way down like that. And then right hand side all the way down like that. There we go. I'm liking that. Look at that. Look at that. Remember, boys and girls, don't be afraid to erase. If you make a mistake, no big deal. Simply erase it and do it all over again. All right? So, what's missing from our shark? Well, one very, very important thing. A few things are missing, but one very important thing. His mouth. How's he going to eat? How's our shark going to eat anything if he doesn't have a mouth? Okay? And this mouth is just kind of, if you can imagine, kind of a part of a circle. Right? The top part here is a bit like kind of a circle. So we can even start with that. So maybe about halfway between this and this, maybe about half. We're going to, about right here, we're going to start that top of his mouth. Okay? Just like this. That's this right here. Okay? Like that. So I'll mark it off. And it's kind of a bit of a circle, right? Part of a circle, let's say. And then what I can do is I can mark off where these corners of his mouth are, the bottom of his mouth. I'll mark off right here, and I'll mark off over here. So what does that mean? That means that the top of our mouth is going to meet on each side up to those points. Okay, so, whoops, I want to do it in pencil first. We'll go like this. There we go. And then we'll do the same thing on this side. Come across and down. And see, that's a little, it's not quite curved enough. I made a little bit of a mistake. Well, another pencil with a better eraser. I'm just going to erase this part right here. And we're going to adjust it. All right. So a little bit more curved. There we go. Okay. So there we go. And there we go. Look at that. So that right there is the top of our mouth. So what are we going to do next? What do we have to do? What's left? The bottom of the mouth, right? So in this case, all I'm going to do is draw another one of these like this, these arches, but I'm going to make it, it's going to be smaller. Go across like that. There we go. And of course, my marker so you guys can all see it. Look at that. Cool, huh? What's missing? The teeth. Can't have a shark with no teeth. So all these are a bunch of triangles. Triangles that connect to either the top of the mouth or triangles that connect to the bottom of the mouth. So I'm going to start with the ones in the middle at the top. Triangle, 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 triangle. All right, here we go. More triangles on this side. Maybe the ones on the bottom, Maybe they're a little smaller, maybe they're a little longer, kind of up to you. But they're just a bunch of triangles. Same thing, right? Triangles, triangles, triangles. There we go. Okay, cool. We're getting there. So what's missing? Eyeballs. Our shark can't see if it doesn't have any eyeballs. And all these are kind of, again, little partial circles or even ovals. So all I'm going to do is on each side of the head, go like this. Okay. There we go. Look at that. Now I'm going to come over to the other side. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do the same thing. Now I want to make it so that it's opposite the other side. Maybe I'll take my finger. I can even do this. If you have a separate pencil or a marker or whatever, you can kind of do this across. So you can make sure that they're even spaced, they're across from each other, right? You don't want one eye down here and one eye up here, or maybe you do. It's up to you. If you like that, that's okay. But if you're trying to make them symmetrical, meaning that they're the same on both sides, you want to go ahead and maybe do something like this, right? Make sure that your pencil's kind of straight, flat, and then that's the top of this eye, right? So now from there, I'm just going to go like this. Lots of little tricks to drawing. Lots of little tricks that you can use along the way that will help, that'll make it easier for you to draw. So that was one right there. You can always also eyeball it a bit. And here's what I'll do. I can hold it, I'm going to have it pointed right at me because I can see that from the side it's a little hard for me to tell if it was even. So here we go. It's always good to get a good straight on look at it. I'm over here from an angle, so it's a little tricky. There we go. I think that's pretty straight. What do you guys think? Pretty straight across. Cool. All right. So I have, on the original, I didn't put any gills on it. Sharks have gills. So I'm going to go ahead and make some gills on them. On this one here, 1, 2, 3 lines. 1, 2, 3. Maybe we'll go with 4. 4 gills on each side. Here we go. Look at that. How about that? Oh, I forgot to outline the teeth. Don't forget those so you guys can see what they look like. I think you guys got it. All right, look at that. How cool is that? There we go. Okay, so there is my shark drawing. Okay, again, if you guys aren't caught up to where I am, or if you guys need to touch up some stuff, go ahead and pause, go back, etc. So you guys can make your little touch-ups. Once you get to here, the next step is we are going to paint. I'm going to be using acrylic paint. Like I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the video, you guys will be using whatever it is that you have at your house, okay? So let me get myself ready, and I'll be right back. All right, everybody. So I mentioned that I'm going to be using acrylic paint. So here are the colors that I'm using. Red. I've got this purple, blue, blue, white, and silver. Whatever colors you guys have at home with whatever medium you guys have. If you guys, so paint, colored pencils, watercolors, markers, crayons. That's what you're going to be using. And whatever colors you guys have, as long as it's something kind of close to this, you should be okay. I'm probably going to be adding glitter to the shark, maybe in his mouth, maybe around the top of the head, his eyes maybe, I'm not sure yet. But also, if you guys have any glitter at home, that'll work. If you don't have glitter, don't worry about it. It's not that big of a deal. Maybe you can get some, though, later on. You can order some online, etc., etc. I don't know if there's an art store that's open near you. I know a lot of places are closed right now. But yeah. So anyhow, let's get to painting. Oh, one last thing. Parents, for those of you that are interested, kids, if you guys are interested in getting brushes, you don't need anything fancy. They sell some really basic brushes at places like Hobby Lobby, Michael's, and other art stores. You could probably get a decent acrylic paintbrush set for about 10, 12 bucks. As long as you guys take care of it, it will last a long time. All right, so here we go. Let's get started. Enough talking about other stuff. Here's what we're going to do first. I'm going to go ahead and paint the inside of my shark's mouth. I'm going to take a rather small brush, and I'm going to take some red, and then I'm going to do this. Come inside here, and I start to paint the inside of the mouth. If you guys are, again, if you guys are using markers, crayons, whatever, just stay on the inside of the mouth, right? You don't want to cover up the teeth, or maybe you do. Maybe your shark just ate something, and his teeth are stained a little bit red, right? Kind of up to you. Maybe that's an idea some of you guys might want to do. I am going to paint the teeth white later, even though the canvas is white and the teeth are already white. I do want to add some white paint over my teeth, so that will be coming up in a little while. All right, so just a little bit of information for you. So acrylic paint, for those of you that aren't familiar with it, dries pretty quickly. My painting, it's a little chilly tonight. My painting will probably be completely dry in about 20 minutes, maybe, after I'm done. So there we go. Look at that. Look at that mouth. Off to a good start with this painting process. So what I like to do with my brush, when I'm not using a particular brush, I'll take it. Once I've got some paint on it, I'll take it and I'll have a water cup and I just leave the brush in there. Kind of sit like this. It keeps it from drying out. I mentioned the acrylic paint dries really quickly, so that's what I do here. In this case, I want to use the same brush, so all I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brush and swirl it around inside the water cup, try to remove some of that paint, and then what I'll do is I'll take a paper towel and I will do this. In this case, I don't have to remove all the paint, just most of it, because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take some of this purple blue color. I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do the outside of our shark. So like this, all the way around. In this case, because my gills are already black, I can paint right over them. And the blue paint that I'm using, this purple blue paint, is a bit transparent. So you'll be able to see the black coming through the paint, and it works out quite nicely. Look at that. Pretty cool. All right, look at that. You know, right now it's almost 10 o'clock at night. I'm painting at nighttime. It's almost 10 o'clock. What do you guys think about that? It's pretty quiet in my room and in my studio, and kind of fun to paint at night. All right, there we go. Cool. Same brush. In this case, I've got almost blue. It's almost a blue colored paint on it, so I don't have to worry about it too much, because what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take some of this blue. I'm going to bring this blue over here. I'm just going to kind of do this so that the paint that was already on the brush mixes with it. And here's what I'm going to do. So you guys notice that the top of my waves are light blue, like this. And then the bottom part of the wave is a dark blue, right? So that's what I'm going to do the dark blue part first. If I wanted to, I could do the light blue part, but I decided I'm going to do the dark blue, all right? Just like that. So I'm just grabbing paint straight from my plate and brushing this right in, staying right inside my lines. For those of you that have never painted before, if you're painting with me right now, very cool, and that makes me very happy. It makes me very happy that you guys are doing art with me in general. I like teaching people art. It makes it a lot of fun for me. So I hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. Don't forget, please leave me comments below. Let me know what you guys want to see me paint. And then please don't forget to like my channel. Like my videos, very importantly. And if you guys want to see what I do in the future videos, please subscribe so you guys hit the subscribe button and then hit that little notification bell next to the subscribe button. What that does is anytime I upload a new video, you guys get an automatic alert. Okay, cool. So I did that middle part of my waves. Now I'm going to do the bottom part. This part right here. Okay, same blue. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to raise my canvas a little bit so I can get all the way to the bottom. Okay, so you guys see that I'm painting the front, right? The front of the canvas, the face of the canvas. If I wanted to, for those of you that are using canvases, if I wanted to, I could paint around my edges, meaning, so let's say for example that I wanted to come in and do this, paint the bottom part, I would leave that last, because once I paint down here, if I go like this and I leave it on there, it will glue it onto the easel, and that won't be any fun. But what I could do if I wanted to is come in and do this, match my edges to the front, right? So the blue water comes across and wraps around the edges like that. Look at that. Cool. Just like that. All right, look at that. Coming along. It is coming along. So what did I say? The color right here is a light blue. So what I'm going to do is this. I don't have light blue on here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to make it. So since I've got this blue right here, I'm just going to do this. Take a little bit over to the side. Now I'm going to take a little bit of this white. I don't take all of it. I'm going to take a little bit of it. Maybe add a little bit more to make it lighter. The lighter I want it, the more white I'm going to add. Okay, so maybe a little bit more. I only add white a little bit at a time until it eventually gets to the color that I want. Just like that. There we go. So I got this cool, really light blue that I just made. Now I'm going to come up and use that for the tops of my waves. All right? Look at that. Again, if you guys have crayons or markers or colored pencils, just, hopefully you have a light blue. If you don't have let's say you guys don't have different colors of blue, and you can't make any, right? Because you're not using paint. Just paint your waves all one blue color. All right? All one blue color. No big deal. There we go. Now I'm going to do this bottom part. Do this part right here. Come across, up, all the way over. There we go. Cool. So anyhow, for those of you that are new to my channel, if you guys haven't noticed, and I've already mentioned it, but I've got a tutorial on Pikachu. I've got one on SpongeBob. I've got one on Homer Simpson. I have one on Peter Griffin from The Family Guy. I got a llama, an octopus. I've also got a rocket ship, a mermaid tail. So if you guys haven't already, go check those out. I am going to be making more as we go along, right? And here we go. I'm doing the edges again. I'm going to be making more videos in the future. Please don't forget to send me your requests. Send me the requests. Leave them as messages below. You guys can also email me. Don't forget, also, I ask that you guys send me some pictures of your handiwork. So you guys can email them to me. Once again, that email is paintingwithjesse@gmail.com. paintingwithjesse@gmail.com. What do you guys think? Look so far. A little bit of more tea for my throat. Okay, cool. So now you guys see that all this in here is still white. And on here, it's kind of a gray color. Well, for that part, I've got a silver. I've got a silver color, silver paint. Okay, and for that part also, I'm going to use this bigger brush, just because it's going to help me cover more space more quickly. You don't have to use this big brush. If you have a small brush, that's okay too. Again, for those of you that are painting, right? The only thing with these bigger brushes, you got to be careful when you work around the edges, because it's easy to go over your lines and into areas that you don't want to paint. Like let's say I want to stay inside. I want to stay inside this area right here, right? I don't want to go into the purple area, the blue purple area. So I got to be really careful. I also don't want to go into the mouth. I want to be careful. I want to be, paying really close attention when I get to my edges. I work slowly so that I don't put this paint where I don't want it to go. All right? So just like that, all the way around, come underneath, back up, go down like this, paint over the top, over the mouth. There we go. That's starting to look pretty cool. Pretty cool shark right here, if I do say so myself. I like to tell people that the idea isn't to make yours look just like mine, or if let's say you're trying to copy what's on a picture, etc. You're not trying to make your picture necessarily look exactly like the original. You could try that. That's not what I'm saying. But if yours looks a little bit different, as long as it looks cool, that's all you got to worry about. Okay. So there we go. I added silver all inside here. I did say I was going to paint the mouth, the teeth white, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'm going to take one of my small brushes. I got this really small one right here. It's a little square head, but it's pretty small. I'm going to take some white straight from the plate. And again, I want to be careful. I want to stay inside the outlines of the teeth. I don't want to take this white and put it into the red or into the silver on top. If I do, I can always fix it. I can clean it up. I'm working slowly, and I'm doing it like this so that so I don't have to fix anything. A lot of times, from time to time, we make a mistake. You put paint where we don't want it to go, or you know, if you're drawing something, you know, you make a mistake, it's no big deal to go back and fix it. All right. It can be a little hard to fix something sometimes, especially if you're working with markers, right? Or even paint like I am. It can be a little tricky to go back and fix something, but usually you can work around a mistake. There we go. So I just colored the inside of the teeth. There are a couple of things that I've got left. My eyeballs, which I'm going to do last. But the next step is this blue sky, right? Our shark is jumping out of the water, or sticking his head out of the water, and we have a sky that we got to color in, okay? So for that, I'm going to use the same brush that I used to paint the silver with, the big brush. I'm going to take a lot of this, most of my white, bring it over here like this, and it's gonna mix a little bit with the silver that I've got on the plate, that I've got on the brush, which is okay. I'm gonna take a little bit of this light blue that we made earlier to make a really light blue sky. Okay, there we go. It's mixing with the silver a bit, and it's making it look a little bit metallic because the silver that I have here is kind of metallic, so that's pretty cool. Kind of like that. Wasn't planning for that, but turned out nicely. So there we go. I want to make plenty of this because I don't want to run out. There we go. Add a little more blue in there. That's all right. Add a little bit more silver. Take some of this. There we go. Now I'm going to take this. I'm actually going to take my brush, dip it into the water cup a little bit. I'm going to take some drops of water, and I'm going to mix them together. You can do this with acrylic paint. You mix a little bit of water into your paint, and it makes it easier to work with, makes it a little thinner, and you're able to spread it, make it spread across your canvas a lot further. So here we go, just like that. Look at that. I like that color. Cool. Again, I want to be careful when I get to my edges with this big brush because it's easy for me to paint into areas that I don't want to be painting into. Like that. All right. All the way around. Like that. Down like this. Whoops. Just like that. This around like this. Go on my eyeballs. There we go. Now remember earlier when I wrapped around here the edges, around the edges? I'm going to do the same thing here in just a moment. Once I cover all the inside of, or the front part of my canvas, I'm going to come around. Look at that. That's looking pretty cool. That's a cool color. I'm going to do the top like this. Come across. Like that. And then I'm going to do the edge like this. All the way up. Again, this only really matters if you're painting on a canvas and you're using paints. If you're drawing with crayons or something else, you don't have to worry about this. And this is optional anyway. This is just an idea, even if you're working with paint. Okay, we're not going to do anything to the bottom here. Maybe I'll do that at the very end. Okay, once I put glitter and stuff on here. All right, so what's left to the front of our shark? His eyeballs. I'm going to take this brush, put it back into my cup. I'm going to take a little tiny brush this time, a little tiny skinny thing. And I'm going to take some of this dark blue right here. We're going to give them, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this dark blue and then I'm going to mix it with this red to make a dark purple color. So red and blue make purple. Look at that. You mix red, you mix blue, you make a purple. There we go. That's the color that I'm going to use. There we go. Look at that. How cool is that? Bam. Look at that. All right. Cool. That is looking pretty awesome. But I do say so myself. Okay. So I mentioned if I wanted to do this bottom part, I would just go ahead and color this in. And then what I would do after that is I would flip it over and let it dry. But we would have to let that part dry first. Anyhow, I'm going to let my shark sit and dry for about maybe 10-15 minutes. And I am going to add some glitter to it. So stay tuned for that. If you don't have any glitter at home, don't worry about it. But maybe you do want to watch this step so that in the future, if you do get some glitter, you know what it looks like. All right. So again, we're going to let this dry for about 10-15 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. We'll see. And then we'll be right back. All right, boys and girls, we're back. So check this out. I want you and your parents maybe to see this stuff. So here's the glitter that I normally use. I've got a bunch of different colors. Whenever I do my classes and stuff, I usually have some glitter that we apply to to our paintings. So I've got like blue, red, pearl. There's gold and green and all these other colors. It's basically glitter floating around in glue, which you're going to be brushing onto your painting or drawing or whatever. So this is what it looks like when you have it outside of the bottle. Okay, nice and shiny and glittery. Not sure if you guys can see that on through the camera, but it's pretty shiny. So I've got some red and I've got some blue here. First, I'm going to start with this red. This red is going to go right into the red mouth of our shark. All right, and you want to do this if you use paint. You want to add the glitter after your paint is all dry, because if you add it to wet paint, it usually mixes with the paint and it won't be as shiny, right? The paint will actually dull the glitter a little bit. So you want to you want to wait until the paint is dry before you go and add this glitter to it. All right, so there we go. Cool. It's kind of hard to see, I know, but let me see if I hold this up. You can kind of see how shiny that is. Look at that. Pretty cool. All right. So I'm going to take a paper towel and I'm just going to do this. Take off some of that extra paint. I'm going to take some of this blue and I'm going to put it in the water, but only in the dark part of the water, right here. Like this. This one's kind of a chunky glitter. It's kind of the little flakes are kind of thick, but pretty cool regardless. All the way across like that. Look at that. Look at that. It's looking pretty cool. And then right here. So again, for those of you that don't have any glitter and can't follow with this step, don't worry about it. Future videos and any of the other videos that you watch, a lot of them have glitter. We do use glitter for them. So just get some. Have your parents order some for you. You can get it online. Look at that. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Hopefully you guys can see what I'm seeing right there. And then I am going to go ahead and add some glitter. I'm just going to put some on the eyeballs. And I think we're going to be done. Just like this. Make his eyeballs nice and shiny. You guys could use red for that if you wanted. Maybe your shark's mad, and so you decided to use red on it instead, right? Probably look pretty creepy. There we go. Cool. Take my brush and put it in the water cup for a moment. Look at this. How cool is our shark? Look at that. Look at that. All right, everyone. Hopefully you guys all had some fun with me today. Please don't forget to like the video. Like I mentioned a bunch of times already. Hopefully you guys aren't tired of hearing me say that, but it really does help me, and you guys are doing me a really big favor by hitting the like button. Also, if you had some fun, please leave comments down below. If you can take pictures of some of the stuff that you did and you want to send it to me, you already know. paintingwithjesse@gmail.com is my email. I'd love to see what you guys are doing out there, and then I'd also maybe share some of your pictures. Tell me if you send me an email, say, hey Jesse, can you share my picture? My name is such and such, and I'm 8 years old or 9 years old or whatever your age is. And yeah, definitely, I'd love to say hello to you on video, and then also share your pictures. So again, I want to say thank you to Josh. Josh, thank you for sending me this request and for sending me pictures of the stuff that you've done. It's been really, really cool to see your work. Hopefully you had fun with this. And yeah, send me pictures of this as well, okay? All right, everybody. Hope to see you guys all very soon. I should have another video up within the next few days. And I'm not sure what we're going to be doing just yet. I have a few ideas. I've got a few requests actually. So it'll be something that somebody requested. All right, so we'll see what that is. Okay, everybody. You guys have an awesome rest of the day, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Okay, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, first off, I want to say thank